Hey everyone, it's Luke here from LT Gaming, and today we're diving into the world of Bellwright, because the game has just dropped its biggest update yet, Maiden Voyage. This is a major milestone update on the road to 1.0, and honestly it's the kind of content drop that takes an early access title and makes it feel brand new again. The update introduces an entire new region to explore, a massive new storyline, a loyalty and faction system, new wildlife, new loot, brand new points of interest, the whole works. I've been playing it all this week and I've been absolutely blown away by the staggering amount of content in this game. And yes, this video is sponsored, so a huge thanks to the team behind Bellwright for supporting the channel. But as always, all thoughts and opinions are entirely my own. The Maiden Voyage update goes live on December 9th, and Bellwright is currently 34% off until December 17th. So if you want to check it out for yourself, hit the Steam page or check out the Play Bellwright website in the description, and wishlist or grab the game while it's on sale. Alright, let's jump into my thoughts about Bellwright. At its core, Bellwright is a medieval survival RPG with a rebellion twist. It's part settlement builder, part open world adventure, part tactical action game, all wrapped in the story of a framed exile trying to uncover the truth behind a royal conspiracy. I mean, there's a similar backstory to LT Gaming, but we won't go into that just yet. You start with nothing but a campfire and a chip on your shoulder, slowly gathering loyal villagers, crafting weapons and supplies, and building up a settlement that can stand against the Crown's forces. And you don't have to do it alone. Bellwright lets you recruit followers, assign them tasks, and eventually build a proper rebel community. It feels personal, hands-on, and surprisingly immersive in a way that blends survival and RPG progression seamlessly. And then there's the combat, directional melee fighting inspired by Mount and Blade, mixed with real-time dodging, blocking and weapon choice. It's fast, scrappy and incredibly satisfying when you start getting the hang of it. Co-op is a huge part of the fun too. Up to 4 players can jump in, build together, quest together and carve out your rebellion side by side. And now with Maiden Voyage, the scale of that world and the story behind it has expanded in a massive way. Bellwright already stood out because it blends genres that don't usually sit together this well. But Maiden Voyage is the kind of update that meaningfully upgrades the full experience. More story, more world, more progression, and more systems that tie directly into the fantasy of leading a rebellion. One day, Tom, I will take over LT Gaming. Oops, that just kind of slipped out. Let's get back on track. For me, returning for this update reminded me just how addictive Bellwright's loop is. You head out for a quick hunt, then discover a bandit camp. Then a story element pulls you across the map and suddenly 2 hours have vanished and your settlement's twice the size it was when you left. The new region gives that feeling fresh life. It's a whole new sandbox to get lost in. If you're someone who loves exploration, lore and forward momentum in your RPGs, this update gives Bellwright a real sense of adventure again, not just expansion. And if you were a relatively new player like me and you enjoy games that take your time and you can spend ages in, this really is a stellar title. But it requires patience. There was one session where I disappeared for 4 hours and my wife was like, "Get your backside down here to play with the kids." So yeah, Bellwright is definitely a time sink, but it's an enjoyable one. I think I'd say to you LT gamers, if you're looking to get your teeth into a proper big game, this could be it. I always enjoy a game like this over the festive period, so yeah, I think it definitely fits that bill. So let's talk about the star of the show, Halmare Isles, a brand new 10km plus landmass, complete with caves, settlements, new wildlife, new loot tables and a self-contained story and questline built entirely around this region. This isn't just a new biome, this is a full expansion style content drop. The Isles introduce a brand new loyalty and faction system, reshaping how you interact with the world. Villagers and groups now respond to your influence, your choices, and the alliances you choose to build. It adds a meaningful layer of strategy, and it's something the community's been wanting for a long time. More ways for your rebellion to truly feel like it's growing in power and impact. There are new points of interest scattered across the Isles, hidden trails, dangerous caves, abandoned structures, faction hubs and more. Exploring this place feels different from the mainland. Tighter pathways, more verticality and pockets of mystery tucked away in unexpected places. New animals populate the region as well, adding to hunting variety and expanding your crafting options. Some of the new loot tied to Halmare Isles is region specific too, giving you more reasons to explore deeply instead of just rushing the story. The new storyline itself is a standout. It's specifically crafted for this map and introduces fresh lore threads, new characters and a narrative tone that feels more adventurous. Almost like leading a rebel naval expedition. It's a great way to kick off Bellwright's second chapter as it marches towards 1.0. The update also arrives alongside the ongoing improvements Bellwright has been delivering since early access began. Better UI flows, improved stability, expanded crafting, animal husbandry, fishing systems, travelling merchants, world improvements, better questlines. All of that groundwork lifts the Isles' experience even higher. And one thing I was truly blown away by when I fired this game up and even played the Halmare Isles is how great it looks. Bellwright is a truly beautiful game, and I found performance to be rock solid. Now, there were some people who complained about that in the Steam forum, but overall for me it was absolutely great. One of the better looking medieval games compared to say Bannerlord or Manor Lords I've actually played, and it really did surprise me in that department. A truly stunning game to play if you want something to really feast on with the eyes. Just a quick interlude to say most of you who watch the channel are not subscribed. So make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button, because it helps smaller channels like us grow really quickly, and both me and Tom really appreciate it. In short, Maiden Voyage delivers content, progression, exploration, story and systemic upgrades in one go. And with the ever-growing scrutiny on early access projects, it's great to see this progress. As always, Bellwright is still in early access, so you'll hit the occasional rough edge. Combat can still feel a little bit stiff in places, the AI occasionally gets lost on more complex terrain, though after the patch I didn't notice this happening, and some systems still feel like they're waiting for future pass-throughs. When exploring the Isles, you might still see the odd pathfinding hiccup or resource spot that needs a tweak, but there's nothing deal-breaking for an early access title. And I have heard that performance can vary depending on your settings. The new region is big and visually dense, but for me it absolutely ran great. I am running a 4070 Ti just for your reference. And also, you do need to have patience with this game. Nothing's going to happen quick, but that can also be a bonus for people like me who love diving into big games. But if you're someone who needs instant gratification, it might not be for you. There were so many wife-related jokes I could have put in there, but I'll leave your imagination to come up with your own. Overall, none of these issues stop me from enjoying the update, but it's worth keeping expectations grounded. This is still a developing game evolving towards 1.0. If you're coming from Bannerlord, you'll feel right at home with the directional combat system and the long-term dream of commanding a full rebel force. Bellwright isn't at that scale yet, battles are smaller and more personal, but it captures that same tactical DNA while giving you hands-on village building Bannerlord never offered. If you enjoyed medieval Dynasty, this update pushes Bellwright even more into that exploration-heavy, story-driven territory, but with far more combat and a rebellion narrative driving things forward. And if you've been playing Manor Lords, Bellwright almost feels like the character-driven cousin. Instead of watching your town from above, you're in the mud, swinging the sword yourself, recruiting villagers face to face and living inside the world you're building. And that's where I think it really feels like the first-person Manor Lords, but much more fleshed out. Fans of Valheim, Conine Exiles or survival builders will also find familiar rhythms here, but Bellwright's unique mix of character-driven RPG and settlement management sets it apart. The Maiden Voyage update feels like a major step towards the Bellwright the devs have been promising, a living, growing medieval rebellion RPG, and it sets up the roadmap nicely for the big things still coming. Mounts, cavalry, larger scale battles, sieges, more story chapters, modding tools and deeper settlement systems. If this update is a sign of the pacing and ambition going forward, then Bellwright's journey to 1.0 is going to be very exciting, and it's a game I really want to keep an eye on. So that's the Bellwright Maiden Voyage update. Make sure to check out the Steam link in the description and the Play Bellwright website. You can pick it up on a discount, so that's pretty cool for December, and maybe it's going to be your festive title. As always, LT Gamers, thanks for watching. And if you're enjoying these deep dive features, maybe drop a like on the video so more rebel leaders can find their way here. I appreciate it massively. I'll see you on the next one, and enjoy your adventures out there on the Halmare Isles. May your rebellion thrive.